Okay, this is the video about flashbacks that I was talking about making. So, the best way I can explain it is anytime you play the Mario Brothers games, anytime Mario jumps, there's a sound effect, boing. Okay? Anytime you make Mario jump, there is a sound effect that tells you he has jumped. You push the A button on your controller and it triggers Mario to jump. Alright? Simple concept. Well, imagine if, for a moment, your brain is hitting the A button and you're getting the jump sound effect when you're not jumping. But every sound cue you're hearing is saying jumping is happening, but you're not jumping. You're not jumping. But you hear boing, boing, and you're not jumping. So it feels out of place. So one time when I was in church at choir practice, and Carol had her husband Tony there, and Tony had a hemorrhagic stroke a long time ago. So he walks with a rollator walker and he kind of shuffles his feet and he struggles to, go in the correct direction that he wants to go. But he has to grip onto his walker to stand up. And one time he did that and I saw it in the corner of my eye and I jerked my head over to look. And I was just filled with this intense anger. Because it took me back to pre-2020 when my dad would just get up out of his chair with his walker, even though we were begging him to please just wait a minute so that we could finish what we were doing before we could get to him. And in my mind, Tony was wearing my dad's face. And I had a surge of anger. And I wanted to go over and be like, what are you doing? Sit down. Nobody can take care of you right now. You got to sit down before you fall. And then I immediately got distracted by something we were doing because we were working on a piece and it was the soprano's turn to sing a part that we were working on. But for that one moment, my A button was pressed and I was hearing the Mario jump noise in my head, but I wasn't jumping. But my brain thought I was. So for that moment, my brain was not in the right place. It was not in a place where it's okay to jump. Now, I didn't think my trauma was intense enough to warrant PTSD, but I guess it does because of how it's affected me. And, what it's done to my brain and my body and everything else. So there's two kinds of flashbacks. There's a memory flashback and there's an emotion flashback. And emotion flashbacks seem to be my most intense ones because I will just feel a surge of emotions from something that might have happened years ago. A lot of things trigger the emotions from New Year's Eve 2023 when I was screaming at my dad. I was screaming hateful, horrible things at him. I had undergone a complete break mentally, and I couldn't do it anymore. And then I remember how I tried to end my life. And that's a scary memory. And I'll just remember the fear and the defeat and the hopelessness. And it's like my brain wants to go there and sit in it, and I have to basically pull it out and be like, stay here. I have to tell myself to get in the present, ground myself, and just, get myself out of that memory. Because part of my trauma profile is that I do have these intense memories, and sometimes they can just happen at random for no reason. I don't always have a trigger. Just boom, my brain will do it. It's intrusive. And I didn't realize those were flashbacks. I just thought I was having bad memories. Because movies make a flashback seem like you go somewhere else in time. And like I said, maybe for some people, like war vets, maybe they are on the battlefield again. Maybe they see their comrades getting blown up. I don't know. I'm not everybody else. I'm only me. I can only tell you my experience. And it's like Mario's jumping. You know, you make him jump, and then now you're hearing the jump cue when you're not jumping. And that's a flashback. I hope that made sense. But, yeah, it's not fun. Not fun.